Oh, yes, hello there. I could sense that you were going to be in here soon. A palm reading, newbie, a virgin, if you will. Yes, I do have the gift of sight, if you will, as us psychics tend to call it, but you do not need that necessarily for palm reading. It can be very helpful, but I like to think of palm reading as fate at work. Your body, your hand, your lines are going to tell me the story of you, about your hopes, your dreams, your accomplishments, your being, if you will. I'm just here to interpret what these mean to you. And they do change. And like all things with interpreters, things can get muddled if you go from one psychic to another, one palm reader to another. But this is my interpretation and how I see that life is going for you. Alright, so please sit down, get comfortable, relax. I want you to be in your most natural state for this reading. So while you sit and get acquainted with your surroundings, I will set the mood. Get lovely candle going. I really think that. Here, take a whiff. This cedar and sage, it's so earthy and cleansing. It really purifies the area. So let me light this for us. Hear the lovely burning wood wick. Just waft some of the scent and the warmth onto you. Alright, we'll set this aside over here. And now I am going to cleanse the space around you with this rose quartz. As you can see, it's a nice, lovely, large tower. Yes. So, correct. Rose quartz is very much linked with your heart as well as your throat chakra, and often taken as like a love crystal. But it's not it's not only just love and passion and romance. It also represents self-love and healing and the journey within yourself. So I really like to cleanse as well as open you up to these ideas that your body, your palms are going to show us today. Because sometimes there's some tough love that happens. You know, some readings, they're not all everything you want to hear, you know. Sometimes you need to hear the hard truth. So I like to cleanse your aura with this and just be ready for the journey that we are going to take together. I'll set this off to the side, and when you are ready, feel free to lay your palms out flat like this. You can keep your fingers spread for the beginning portion, but then you can let them kind of contract and relax. I'll make sure to let you know so you're not stiff the whole time. So whenever you're ready, let's begin. All right, all ready? Good. So first, I'm just going to be looking at your hands and their shape. I'm going to be looking at the length of your fingers, the thickness of them, the shape and size of your palm. We are just going to determine what type of hand that you have. It can give us some insight to your personality as well. They're based off the elements. So there are 4 types: water, fire, earth, and air. So let me just peek at your hands. All right. Let me see. It's looking like you have the fire elemental hands. Those are characteristically determined by a longer palm with shorter, thicker fingers. Those generally represent people who are very hardworking, determined, persistent. But they are also prone to emotional outbursts. They're very fiery, if you will. Not always in control of their emotions. Does that resonate with you? Little? Alright, yeah. And that's totally fine. We can always learn and change. Just because this may be your base and maybe fundamentals, that doesn't mean you can't harness your emotions or control them. They don't always have to control you, and it won't mean that you are always going to have the most control. And it's okay to let yourself have those moments where you need to let go and be emotional. All right, so now as I'm looking at your hands, I'm going to take a guess and say that you are right-handed. I thought so. So I'm going to start on your left hand then, because your left hand is going to tell us more about your base characteristics, personality. This is like your hopes, dreams, things that you would like to accomplish in this life. And then your dominant hand, your right hand, would tell us more about how you're doing with that in the practice of your life, how your life is actually going. Perfect, so let's begin. I'm just gonna kind of take it all in. I think I'll even grab my flashlight, get a better look while you're in line. So I'm going to begin at your heart line. That's going to be the very top line here. And people do call it the love line, but it's not only matters of love and sexuality. It can be friendships, commitment. As I look on this one on your left palm, as you can see right there, your line is very curved and long. So that tells me that you're quite adventurous and happy. You enjoy having people around. You enjoy love. This would tell me a little more. You strive to be more outgoing. You strive to have a big group of friends, a support system, family. It looks like to me that you strive to have a long, healthy relationship, something that Yeah, you're not really into like the dating, the Tinders, all of that. All that has passed you. I can see there was a little bit of chaining here, maybe in the beginning, which would show kind of a trap for your energy. It's not moving smoothly throughout your body, and maybe you'd gone through some rough patches. Okay. Okay. All right, so now we're going to move on to your headline. It's the next line here on your palm. And for you, it looks like I'm seeing a lot of waviness in there, and that can usually be attributed to a very progressive thinker, someone who's very cerebral, very on the up and up, moving forward, ever changing, wanting to change the world, someone who's got a lot of passion and drive. Yeah, seems like you're a mover and a shaker, if you will. You're striving to better the world, or at least change it in the way that you see fit. Next, we're going to be moving to your lifeline, and that is the one that kind of curves across your palm. And now, contrary to, maybe popular misguided beliefs, it's not going to tell you when you're going to pass away. I cannot predict that. It's just your hand. But it could show me major life events, things like that. Some people have longer lifelines, shorter, and that doesn't necessarily mean that someone will live longer than someone else, because you never know what's going to happen. Fate always has something in store for you, and I can't always predict that. So, as we look at your lifeline on this palm, on your non-dominant palm, to me, it is quite curved, and that shows me a general happiness, joy in life. It looks like there's travel. The curve is quite steep, so you really want to travel, see the world, know as much as you can. I think that really coincides with your headline, the passion for knowledge, for learning. Are you very good with languages? Okay. Yes, that makes sense. So as I'm looking for life, I see someone who is an adventurer, someone who wants to learn things, someone who is outgoing and has just such a vigor for life. Okay, and now let's move on to your dominant hand. And we'll just see how those kind of hopes, dreams, wants have been going on in your life currently. So let's take a peek. So on this palm, starting with your headline, I can see that it starts much higher than your other palm. Can you see that? Can you see the difference? So this means that in your day-to-day life, you're a much more clinical, calculated thinker. You are not so whimsical and free-spirited as this hand would hope or suggest you have become. Seems like maybe you've had some instances that have caused some self-doubt and regression, and I can see that also moving into your heart line. It's not so curved, it seems more straight, flat, like you're more of a loner or a very highly independent person. Yes, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing some kind of breaks along that line there. Yes, it's looking like maybe you've had some pained relationships, either breakups, either friend or significant other, maybe even family, things that didn't quite work out. Maybe those people are no longer in your life. I see something, very tumultuous, if you will, but if you keep looking how that line extends, it does start to curve upwards more. So I think you're on an upward swing. And you need to be ready to be open for love again. And don't shut people out so much. Maybe go out with some friends, go on a date. Maybe it's time to reopen some lines of communications with people that you previously closed off. That's, again, completely up to you in those situations. I don't know exactly what happened, but I can see that there was a big event. Alright. Now let's move, finally, to your lifeline. And again, a slight difference, not that much, but it is not quite as curved as your non-dominant hand. So that would suggest maybe less travel. I'm not seeing anything in here that would suggest you've been abroad. Is that correct? Correct. Okay. Maybe you've traveled not too far from your hometown, maybe a few states here and there, very speckled throughout. It could have even been business trips, so not even for pleasure. Yes. So again, I'm showing you as a very calculated, work-oriented person, and I think you've kind of cocooned in on yourself, closed in and clammed up, sort of. Does that make sense to you? I feel like personality-wise, you are a very energetic, bubbly person, and I feel like there are some things that have kind of toned you down, dulled your shine, and you need to take some time for yourself, really work on yourself. And I think you're the type of person who would do that once you set your mind to it. Exactly. I think that you have the power to change it. You just have to get there mentally. I think you've let other people, you've let voices that have been inside your head just bring you down, and you do not need that kind of negativity in your life. You are a butterfly. You are one of the changers of the world. You are one of the leaders. And now it's time for you to get out there and lead. Good. I'm glad that what you've heard today has resonated with you. And I'm very happy that you were welcome to what I would say would be one of more of the tougher love kind of readings I've done recently. So let's again just do a little bit of crystal work. And really remember that this is about self-care and love, and this happens very slowly through time, and there will be times where it feels like nothing is changing within you, but it is. There are times where you're going to want to regress because it's easier, and sometimes it's okay. You don't always have to be pushing. It is alright to take a break and relax. Beautiful. Okay, now blow out the candle, burn out the candle, blow out the candle. Just get some of the cleansing cedar. Smell onto you, waft it your way. Make sure that your aura is nice and ready for the rest of the day and what it has in store for you. Thank you so much for coming in, and you're more than welcome to come have another reading whenever you're ready. Yes, it would be my pleasure to read your palms again. You have a good day.